Okay, so this is our basic. This is by default that front page. Let me double check if I have in my theme. I don't have front page. Okay, so let me create that front page.php. All right, save this. When I refresh, what's gonna happen now? It's gonna be empty, right? There's nothing in that front page. So we don't want that. We want to open PHP. You don't need to close PHP in WordPress. You need to open it, but you don't at the end of the file. You don't really want to close it at the end of the file. If you want to use HTML in between, you need to close your PHP section and then you can use HTML, right? And let's say we know that we want to use the header, which will give us all the navigation, and the header that is the regular by default. So if you refresh now, what did I do? Oh. It's get header. That's the function. So there it is. Our default header came back, and we know we want to use get footer. We want to use also the footer, because remember, when we say get header, that means also that WordPress will look at functions and bring everything that it needs in the head section. And if we don't use the footer, then WordPress will not load those JavaScript files that we said load in the footer. We have to use it in our template in our page. So if we save this and go back, refresh, there is the footer. Right now they're like one next to each other, right? But let's write something in between, just some basic HTML. So when we open PHP, so now we want to use HTML. We need to close PHP first. So we close PHP like this. So this is the opening PHP tag. This is the closing PHP tag. And now here we can use regular HTML. So let's say I want div. I don't want class right now, just so we can. And h1. This is my front page. I save this, I go here, and there it is. Oh, for this to be actually PHP, I need to open it PHP now, because I closed it up there. So now it's open. So now this will be actually PHP function, because right now it's getting just as a regular text. So now when I refresh this, oh, I didn't save the file. I gotta save the file first. So now we have the header, whatever content we do, and the footer. You can create a static page like this if you want for your home page. You don't have to do anything else, but we wanted to see if Bootstrap classes will get picked up, right? Realize that I'm having my Gulp watch running the whole time just in case I change some styles. I don't want to go back, and you can keep it open the whole way you're working. And that way you don't have to worry. You change your CSS file, style.css, the custom.scss stuff, and it will get picked up by Gulp and compiled on the fly. So remember that Bootstrap class called Jumbotron? It will do that gray background, right? So that's what I'm doing. All I'm doing here, I'm adding Jumbotron class to this div, and let's see if it's going to be changed on the front end. Not. Oh, well, let's see. It might be cached, but there it is. It was cached, right? So I did something, but it didn't appear that it's there. First, what you want to do is to change your clear your cache, because sometimes get cached and then you can't see your changes. Okay, our popper is not getting, it's giving the error, so I'll fix that and send you another snippet to replace it. I gotta check why it's doing that. It was throwing errors. I'm not ready for that right now. I'll send you for sure the fix for that. But our bootstrap is working. We see the jumbotron, and that yellow, remember where that's coming from? Remember at the beginning of the class we did so I just don't like yellow. I'm gonna go and change that back to nothing. I'm gonna remove all those styles for now. Once I save, remember I have my gulp, so should be watching. As soon as I save the file, it ran this styles task. So now when I refresh, nothing happens. Why is that? Because it's cached, right? So the fast way you can clear your cache in your browser is you open the inspector inspector console, or right click and inspect, and then you hold over the refresh button, and it will show you this empty cache and hard reload, and now it's there. So we see that bootstrap class picked up it working, so we can use all those bootstrap classes, and it's very fun. Or watch on YouTube, there's some interesting for bootstrap kind of interesting use cases that we don't just have time to go through all of them right now, but we will use them, and I would recommend you to use them in your team, because it just gives you faster way to, especially for the grid system. So you see how this is all stretched out. We want to use for it, maybe in our front page, we want it to be shrinked. So we, in front of the whole this jumbotron stuff, we want to wrap it inside div with class container. Oh, internet is showing up again. And now when we refresh, that container class, bootstrap class, is doing this for us now. Last time we did margin, we did with 60% and margin 0 auto to center. We don't need to do now. We just add bootstrap class container, and that's what it does. And you can go into bootstrap and see actually what is the width of it. I think you can change that too. You can say I want my container class to be a little wider than this, or a little smaller, right? So this is the beginning. I wanted to give you one snippet for the navigation, for example, how to style it really quickly. You can go, the way you would do it on your own, you would go here and then you would inspect these classes, and you would see, okay, this is class I can use. If I hit menu item class, that means I'm gonna style this element here. That's how you would kind of dig, but I can give you those snippets here in the styles as a starting point. So we want to do menu, that's, where is it? If you inspect, so it's right here, so it covers like the whole, whatever navigation buttons you have, it's covering them together. So that's the menu one that we are hitting right now, and we want that to be text align center. Then the next one is menu li, and what it says here, display inline block, it means keep them on all in one line instead of like blocks like stacked underneath. This is all like regular CSS right now. We're not gonna really go too deep into that. I hope you guys can you remember a little bit. I know it's being a little bit for a little long for some of the folks with the CSS, but it's not that CSS is actually easy. You just need to write. You will remember all those like a little different rules that you can set. But display inline block is like be inline. Margin left is like give me a little bit of space on the left. But in this case, we say give me negative space. So bring me left 5 pixels. Then menu, the last one is menu li, so that means that's for the secondary navigation. So if this navigation has another sub menu, that's what it's gonna hit it. And then you do display block, and then we do text align left. Alright, we save this. Gulp should pick it up. It did. So once we go here and refresh, what it did, it didn't do anything. Why my styles are not working? Text align center, and you see this, it's telling me what files I would not be able to see this here, that it's line number 2 in this file if I didn't use source maps in that gulp thing. But it would tell me style.css, and when I open style.css, it's all this bunch of stuff. So that source map is doing. So I don't know why this didn't do it though. Should center it. But yeah, actually you can go and do your own styling how you want to do it. Maybe you don't want the menu in the center. Maybe you want the menu on the left or right or something. So do the way you want to do it. So start styling your front page, right? So include some bootstrap class. You can do Jumbotron if you want, and do static HTML because we didn't get to the loop. We'll do that next class. And then start styling your header. I know some of you guys already did, like I know Adrian, you did the center part and all that. So dig through the navigation, for example. So inspect it like here, like this, and then hover over. So for example, UL, this one should have, when I told text align center, didn't do no. Li. So there is our stuff. Okay. So float none, bring them in the center, but they're all stacked. So we need to do display inline block. So there it is. They're all, and you can play like this straight in a browser and kind of get an idea what you want to do, and then just go and put these styles in your style sheet, and it will show up. So start styling your navigation just a little bit. You can just make some margin between them, between the elements. Maybe change the color, do border if you want, or something like that. Center your stuff. Try to do a little bit of changes, how you want your navigation to look like. Play around with it, and that means that you set up everything before correctly, so everything gets generated fine. That popper right now, it doesn't mean anything to us because we don't use any JavaScript stuff, but it's throwing an error, and I owe you that part. I will send you the just straight up code snippet that you replace. And that's pretty much it.